The Holiday Inn Express of Pittsburgh has flexible meeting spaces, complimentary internet access, a free hot breakfast bar in the morning, and an indoor pool that the whole family will enjoy. Come book a room at the newest hotel in Pittsburgh, the Holiday Inn Express.
Dakota, this is one of those games where you guys are pretty much fighting to get back in it all game long. You guys make a run at the end of the second half, tied it up a couple times early, get down to one midway through, just not able to get over the hump. Just talk about what you saw out there and how you felt you guys played.
We just didn't make stops when we needed to defensively, and what happened, they capitalized and drew out the lead, and since we didn't get stops, we couldn't catch back up.
How hard is that facing a team with that quality, just not being able to get those stops and then add to it with the offense on the other end?
It's tough. The team's very good, the top of the conference, and we tried to knock them off, but unfortunately our defense just didn't pull through for us.
Talk about the momentum coming out of the half. You guys ended up going on a 9-0 run to close it out. You guys really had things going there early in the first. It was just one of those cases where they had an answer each time. Yeah,
we've been trying throughout the year to get stops defensively, consecutive stops, instead of trading baskets, because trading baskets it evens out, and if you're in the lead, then you end up winning anyway. So we try to get consistent stops, and we didn't get consistent stops when we needed to down the stretch, and we ended up losing.
And this team's obviously sitting at the top of the conference. I mean, you guys sat there and played with them the entire time. Knowing this is one of those games where you just have to accept it is what it is and just move on.
We definitely know that we could have came out and played a little bit better, and then also since we were the top of the conference team and we competed with them until the end when they drew it out, it means that we're improving from where we were at the beginning of the year, which is great to see.
And sometimes earlier in the year, you would see like these type of games when you guys got down 8 or got down 7, it would turn into a one-sided affair. You guys ended up fighting back and kind of keeping it close all the way through. What does that say about your team at this point in the year?
It tells us that we're dealing with adversity very well, which is good for our team, because we've had a lot of up and downs this year, and the more we continue to handle this adversity, the tougher we'll be as a team too.
Coach, kind of starting off, this is one of those games where you're just trying to play catch up pretty much the whole way through. They had a couple 8-0 runs in the first, kind of put them out to that lead. You guys closed out the half with a 9-0 run to kind of get back in it. You guys tied it a couple times early on in the second half, ended up cutting it to lead about 1 to about midway through. Just weren't able to get over that hump. Just talk a little bit about what you saw from your team out there and how you felt you guys played.
Well, I didn't think we played bad. I definitely think we could have played better, but Northwest had a lot to do with that. You got to give them credit. That's the style they play. They're good at exploiting what they believe to be mismatches and spacing the floor to get downhill and kind of utilize their shooters, in different strategic spots off the drive and be able to, keep you honest and keep you at home, so you can't offer a lot of help. The run in the second half, I thought we did a good job of hedging and really trying to, rotations were quicker. We got our hands on a couple of loose balls, got to transition a little bit, and that was a good run on our behalf. But we kept it at 4, I think, till about the. We tied it in the second half, but then it was back to 4, I think, with about 6, maybe 5 minutes to go, and then they kind of spaced it out from there and spread it, and they played better than we did, but I didn't think we played terrible. You almost have to play the kind of game against this team that where you just maybe keep them guessing what you're doing defensively. We tried to show some 1-through-1 zone and put it in this week. It was okay. It got us a couple stops, but then we kind of lost track of shooters in it and tried some different things. But we're just not going to sit back and let them do things. And you got to catch them on a night where they're not shooting it well. They shot it well early, especially to get that lead. But credit to our guys. I mean, I'm not going to sell out my guy. I thought they came out and they battled and they found a way back in it. And it wasn't particularly pretty early, but to our credit, we found a way to get back in it.
This is one of those games that was really in the half court all night. There wasn't really a whole lot of fast break opportunities. Right. I mean, the only one-sided stat on the stat sheet was points off turnovers. I think they had 21-6 or something like that. Yeah. Going up on a game like this, is this just a product of just you playing, one of the top teams in the conference? This is just the type of game they're going to play, and you're going to have to beat them at their own game.
Yeah, and because they do dictate the tempo with a guy like Pitts at the point who can run and get the ball where it needs to get to. And I thought Jacobs did all right on him. He didn't have a bad game, but at the same time, they do control tempo. They're very good at it. They're very disciplined. They each know their role. and play that. But I thought, a couple areas we did a pretty good job at. Like I said, I thought we rebounded well. I know we won the rebounding battle, not by a ton, by 2, but that's, 6 offensive rebounds, got 1 more than they did, and did some good things there. We did turn it over a little bit, especially by guys that probably shouldn't be turning it over, didn't have 4 turnovers, and Trey had a couple, which he usually doesn't turn it over. He's pretty good about it. For us, it's a matter of being consistent on both ends of the floor, understanding what's there, and if teams make adjustments and really load up, a side of the floor against us defensively, we've got to be able to, get our throwback action and some other things, and once we did get in a little bit of a rhythm and flow, I thought our offense was pretty good.
Talk about the momentum heading into the half. You guys were there trailing by double digits, ended up cutting down with that 9-0 run. How big was that, being able to know that you guys are riding it with 1 half to play and then eventually tying it coming out of the break?
Well, I think that's what allowed us to tie it the second half, because we did a good job at halftime of cutting the gap and came out and I thought we were pretty sharp early in the second half, and I thought the first 5 minutes were big and kind of stayed with them, and we were able to get the lead and just kind of went on a little bit of run ourselves, forced them to take a couple timeouts, and I thought we played pretty well. And this is a team you're just not going to separate by 8-10 points on, and you just got to kind of do it 1 possession at a time. But then we kind of lost our focus. They got downhill on us, some straight line drives there late in the second half, and we couldn't keep them in front of us. And Ben did a good job exploiting some mismatches.
Talk about how how hard it is going up against a team like this, trying to get that run out there. That 9-0 run you guys weren't really able to establish that in the second half, largely in part because it was just trading baskets back and forth.
Yeah, we didn't get stops. I mean, bottom line is we weren't good enough defensively, and probably gave them more points than they've scored all year. I don't think they're nearly an 81-point-a-game team. They're usually in the low 60s or around there, and that's not a good enough defensive effort on our part. We'd like to get them sped up, but when you're trading baskets and they're able to counter every time you do, and we had to work pretty hard for a lot of ours, and a lot of theirs came pretty easy, and I think it wore us down there towards the end.
Yeah, and what makes them sort of difficult to guard? Obviously, they have Pitts in there, but they also have some size on the perimeter.
Yeah, mismatches. They do a good job of finding guys and putting them in positions where they can get downhill. But then they also spread you with their shooters, and you got the Schneider kid. You got to recognize him. And the other kid I thought had a good game for him was 22. He came out and hit a couple threes, and thought he was pretty solid for him as well. But they're all pretty good players, and they all, like I said, understand their roles. And we're close to that. We're kind of in that progress still, trying to get to playing our best basketball. But I still wouldn't take. I think we played great, but I think we played terribly either tonight.
You guys find yourself trailing early by double digits. A lot of times earlier in the year that would have spiraled out and ended up to a one-sided affair.
Yep.
You guys battled back tonight, and as of late, like you said, you guys are playing much better basketball. Just talk about how you feel where your team's at this point, kind of moving down the stretch. Yeah, you guys are taking this loss, but this is a loss knowing that you guys are hanging with the top team in the conference.
Yeah, and I totally agree with you. And you can put a negative spin on it, or you can put a positive spin on it. And I'd much rather see the positive side of it. We're a good team. We're not as good as we need to be right now, but I think we understand that. We've got good players on our team, and we need everybody to play not their best game, but as close to their best as possible. And I agree 100% with what you said earlier. And it wasn't that long ago. It was within the last month. If we did have a team get away and take a lead like this, we'd probably end up losing by 20. And so, yeah, to our credit and our players' credit, I think they responded well, and we'll continue to fight back. I'm not going to give up on these guys, and I don't think they're going to give up on us, but we just got to continue to chip away. And we did some good things down the stretch there. Got a couple threes late, even though the game was essentially over, but still trying to get some turnovers and create some plays down the stretch. But you can't ever quit, and you instill that in them at the end of games now, and down the road when it does come time to have to get stops, maybe they'll pay off for us.
Trey Starks came off the bench, had a solid game, ended up leading you guys in scoring. 19 of those 21 in the second half. Was that nice to see?
It was
this late in the season.
He responded. Coach Doc did a good job of challenging him at halftime, not to settle, and I thought he settled a lot the first half. And He was able to get downhill and get to the free throw line, which he's really good at, and got some finishes and hit some threes. And but we need him to assert himself as a scorer. He's got to be a scorer for us. But he also has to understand within what teams are going to do defensively against him is trying to shut him down. He's got to be able to adjust during the game to what's there and what's not. But I thought he was a lot more aggressive in the second half. Dakota gave us a good lift offensively in the second half too. So I thought those two did a nice job. Jackson had a very good game for us. And, it was probably good enough offensively, just wasn't good enough defensively. And there were some things I thought the first half we weren't very good offensively. But at the same time, we made the run that we made first half too, and a lot of that's because of what we did defensively.
Sure. You talked about DJ's night, kind of go a little bit more in depth. I mean, he was really your consistent scoring threat out there. He led that run for you at the end, and made some big shots for you down the stretch to keep you guys within that.
Yeah, he took, on the night maybe he took one or two bad shots. I thought the rest were pretty good shots, and we need him too. He's one of those guys that he's so unassuming out there on the floor. He just kind of goes about his business. And but man, when he gets on fire and shoots it the way he did tonight, he's a pretty good player. And I thought he did a good job defensively too. But some of these guys on this team, they put a lot of undue pressure on themselves to. They feel like they have to carry us to win, and we don't need that. As long as we have you playing, close to your best basketball and just give us great effort, someone else will step up on this team, and we got to understand that. But you can't have a bad game. We're not deep enough to have a bad game, and if everybody at least plays to their potential, and then some guys step it up a notch from there, I think we'll be where we need to be.
You talked about your depth a little bit. You guys are outscoring teams, by plenty. Coming off the bench here in all these games.
Yeah.
You got a solid rotation going on right now. Just talk about where you guys are at experience-wise coming off the bench, and how you feel it's going to be kind of a positive for you guys moving down.
Well, we got Creighton, we got Luke, we got Trey who's off the bench, and Trey could start. That's kind of either way there. And I called Chris out after the game, and I didn't call him out, but I can't say that, but. Chris has got to give us more. Chris Owens can score the ball. Chris can be a factor in the game. But I probably put a little bit of a short leash on him, and he makes a mistake or two. I pull him out, and I need to let him be able to play through some of that. But we're at the point of season 2 where he's got to give us more, and he's capable of giving us more. And I've got confidence in him. He just needs to have confidence in himself. But we need him to step up, and we need Creighton to play a little more assertive and give us what he's capable of. And I think Luke's giving us what he can. And so right down the line, next man up, and we've shown that, and we've been competitive, and we'll continue to compete, and we're going to be on the road for a little bit here, and we'll just get ready for taking one game at a time, and if we'll keep playing better, we'll be where we want to be.
Putting Chris out there to the start, was that kind of a nudge by you just trying to?
Yeah, that was my fault. I went down the line, and last year's number, I just checked it off real quick, so that was me on the book. So Chris had to go in because I wrote it down as a starter, but it's supposed to be Jackson. So that was me.
Visiting Pittsburg in the near future? The Comfort Inn of Pittsburg is the place for you. Comfort Inn offers friendly customer service and a cozy, welcoming room. Wake up to a hot complimentary breakfast every morning, enjoy the indoor pool area year-round, and keep in touch with your friends and family with the high-speed internet. When staying at the Comfort Inn, you can feel at ease knowing your satisfaction is the most important thing.